we have some special guests here. This is Arthur.
And this is Sweety.
So today we're going to be talking about our dogs and kind of the story behind why we got them and how we got them and how it's been in our lives since we've got them. Because things have changed. But that's kind of what we're going to be talking about today. So we just wanted to, I think we talked in the first video that we have two Beagle mixes. So Arthur is a Beagle mix here. We're not really sure what he's mixed with because we adopted him.
We think he's mixed with a Jack Russell Terrier, though.
And then we also adopted Sweety. She's a Beagle mix too, and we're pretty sure she's an Australian Shepherd Blue Merle mix. So Arthur here, we adopted him when he was 2 in 2016. He attached to us very quickly, and we found out quickly that he actually has some separation anxiety. So if he's left out, like while we're gone, he tends to chew things and get into things that he shouldn't. But other than that, he's a good doggy. Right, buddy? Right? So when Sean and I were looking for an apartment, I decided that I really wanted a dog.
Of course. And this was before we even got the apartment.
I really wanted a dog, so I was looking to adopt a puppy. So I was looking at this one place, and I just kept looking there every single day, and there was puppies and puppies and puppies. I was showing them to Sean like every single day. And then we decided that maybe a puppy might not be like the best route to go since we're like moving into our first apartment together, but I still really wanted a dog. So what happened was I was starting to look at the older dogs. So the older dogs at this place was considered any dog over 12 months of age, and I found Arthur, and I thought he was really cute. And I was like, Sean, look. And then Sean's like, oh, he is pretty cute. So I don't know if it was that day, or I'm pretty sure it was that day, because I was afraid that Arthur, because he was so cute, he'd get adopted very quickly. So I think that day we decided to go out to this place to look at Arthur and see how he was and if we liked him and stuff like that. So we went there and we took him out for a walk and everything, and he's definitely a hound dog, because when we were walking him, all he was pulling everywhere to sniff everything.
And that's all he does now.
And like, it's so funny because he barely looks up when he walks. He's just like nose to the ground all the time. We're talking about you, buddy. Yeah. So his name is Arthur, but when we were looking at him on the website, his name was actually Sir Arthur. So we decided to drop the Sir Arthur. But
the Sir.
Yeah.
Just the Sir.
Just the Sir. So we thought about it and everything, and when we first got him, he was actually really underweight. He was about 17 or 18 pounds. And you could like feel his ribs and everything. So that day when we went to see him, we decided to adopt him. And
we still didn't have the apartment at this point, so yeah, just keep that in mind.
So, but we were like really I didn't want to lose him because like he was so awesome. So I didn't want to lose him at all. So
did you want to lose him or?
But while we were there, we were like filling out the paperwork for Arthur. This other family actually like came to see him and started to walk him, and I was like, no. And like, thank God the lady at this place was like, no, Sir Arthur's going home with someone. So we brought Arthur home. So we had to have Sean's parents actually help us with watching him because we weren't in our apartment yet.
So while we were getting everything situated with our new apartment, we kind of just kept them at my parents' house. They watched him. We would come over there a lot of the day and kind of spend time with him. And can you stop licking me for once? We went over there and just spent most of the day with him. Took him for walks, played with him in the yard. Unfortunately, he sucks at being off the leash. If he's off the leash, he just darts. He's gone. we tested it out one day. It was like the first few weeks we had him. We were in our apartment at the time, and we decided to go over to my parents' house and let him free. So we took him off the leash when we got out the car, and we kind of just walked over to the patio in my parents' backyard. And he followed us over there nicely, and he started sniffing by the door, and then sniffing around the corner, and then he just sprinted down my parents' driveway and then down the street. So we had to chase him. I had to like run back behind these houses and go in this person's backyard, and he went up to their back door, and I had to kind of guide him into my hands and picked him up and brought him back. So yeah, from that point on, we're like, nope, he's not getting off the leash.
What are you doing, Artie? Oh, okay. Arthur is exiting the scene. I guess that means he's done. Show's over for him, I guess. It's gonna go lamb. We call it the dog's room. It's our spare room. But it has our giant low sack and they always lay in it.
Yeah. There's a picture on Instagram of them just overtaking the whole thing, so it's pretty funny.
And so now we're gonna tell you a little bit about Sweety here. We actually thought that like Arthur was pretty attached to us, but we found that Sweety is far more attached to us than Arthur is. Oh, we forgot to tell you. So Arthur is we said that we adopted Arthur, but Arthur is actually originally from Georgia. So, and we're pretty sure that in his past he was abused at some point.
Yeah, he's very submissive when you go and pet him. Even now, especially strangers, when they go and pet him, he kind of puts his head down and
kind of cowards. So he's originally from Georgia, and in 2016 was the first time he saw snow, which was hilarious because we went to walk him outside and it had snowed, like not a lot, but enough to like cover like the grass and everything and make it white. And Arthur stepped out onto the porch and he stopped and he looked around like, what is this stuff? So yeah, but like now he doesn't mind the snow and he's like more used to it and everything.
Yeah, when the first time we took him for a walk in the snow, he would just lick all of the snow in front of him. He wouldn't stop. He would just lick it all up.
So, this is Sweety. She's 2. She's going on 3. I kind of convinced Sean that we should get another dog.
Yeah, I didn't really want another one. We had a lot of problems with Arthur in the beginning. He was very destructive.
And he would, if we locked him out, he would always get into the garbage. And like when I say get into the garbage, I mean like
destroy the garbage. Yeah. Like tip it over, chew on everything. Oh man. One day when we were testing him to see if he was good to be left alone outside of a kennel, and this was like for hours. I came back and the garbage was tipped over. Garbage was dragged throughout the entire living room. There was a chicken carcass that was in the garbage. He ate the whole thing, bones and all. And there was just poop everywhere. Like he had hours and hours to just eat everything in the garbage and poop it all out on the carpet in the kitchen. It was ridiculous.
So, again, this is Sweety, and it took some convincing from me to Sean to get another dog. I was like doing some research and found that like dogs with separation anxiety tend to do better with other dogs. So I was like, Sean, Arthur did so much better if he had a friend and everything. And so Sean was like, no. And then finally he said yes.
After a lot of convincing.
So I, of course, started looking at this same website to adopt a dog. And so there was two dogs I was interested in. One was Sweety, and then one was Laverne, right?
I think her name was Laverne. And Laverne was actually Sweety's sister. They actually were both in a car crash. And I guess that's how they ended up at the shelter that we were looking at.
So we decided to look at Laverne first. And Laverne, because she was like in an accident, she was very afraid to be walked on a leash. So
she was very afraid in general. It was hard to do anything with her, really.
Yeah, so it was very difficult to walk her on a leash. So she would take like 2 steps and then sit down, and you would like try to get her to start moving again, but she would just look very scared, and she would just sit there.
And we tried to take her for a walk for about probably like 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
We couldn't even get her past the parking lot of the shelter, so we ended up bringing her back in, and then we went and looked at Sweety.
And we also bought Arthur because we wanted to take either of them home. We wanted to make sure they would get along. So we had Arthur, and then we had Sweety. And honestly, Sweety was a little hesitant with the leash as well. She would like take a few steps. She'd kind of sit down or lay down, but like then you're like, come on, and she would kind of get up and like take a few more steps. So I think even though after this car crash, she was like, I feel like she was adjusting a little better than Laverne was.
Yeah.
So we took her around, and we decided we liked Sweety.
And Arthur likes Sweety as well.
So after that, we had them. It's really nice at this place because they have like this fenced-in area. Sweety was loose, and we had Arthur on the leash, and we kind of, at that point, we decided to see how they would interact and everything. So we also, with that, someone from the shelter kind of supervises as well to see how the dogs interact with each other. And she told us to keep Arthur on the leash in case something were to happen. We could like quickly pick him up or pull him away. But we thought they would like interact, but they just kind of ignored each other. But the lady said that was a good sign because that means they're comfortable enough to like turn their backs on each other and things like that. So with that, we decided to take Sweety home. We thought a lot about it, and she was... I don't think we were able to take her home that day.
Yeah, I think we had to wait.
We had to wait because she had actually... recently, when we got her, she'd recently had actually 4 puppies. So she was actually still feeding them. So they asked us if we would mind letting them keep her for a few more days. So the puppies that were left could get like a last feeding in, and she would get spayed. So we said that was fine, of course. So I went back to pick her up, and she again was she saw me, she was very, very timid, very shy. When I got home to the apartment, and like even like the weeks following, she was very attached to me. She would like follow me everywhere. Like if I went out to get the mail, she would like sit by the door till I came back.
And that was pretty upsetting to me because Arthur was already attached to her. And I wanted a dog for me because, you know, I got kind of lonely sometimes when Arthur would just be all up on her and stuff, so. So that's why I wanted a girl, because I'm like, all right, yeah, you know, a girl's going to be more attached to me, right? No, that didn't happen. For probably months, I think. It was all Asia had 2 dogs and I had none. I was just there.
But as time passed, that very like timid, shy dog kind of went away
and turned into an insane, crazy, super hyper crazy, super crazy, insane dog.
Yeah, like when she got more comfortable with us, we realized that she's very hyper. And it's so funny because Like, Arthur and Sweety are, like, on the complete opposite ends of the spectrum. Arthur is very laid back. He will, like, sleep the entire day, like, very lazy. And she is not. I mean, she will, like, she does sleep during the day. She will sleep with him. But she's very, very hyperactive. Oh, she's very jealous. Very jealous dog.
Yeah. The most jealous dog I've ever seen.
Yeah, and she can, like, jump as high as I am tall, pretty much.
Yeah. Her head can reach your head, so.
And I was telling you, like, they're at different ends of the spectrum. So Sweety actually can be off leash, which is pretty cool. She'll stay close, or she starts getting far. Shaw'll whistle and she'll come right back. So it's fun because in our backyard isn't fenced. So, like, we can play with her in the backyard, like, throw balls and stuff, and she'll go fetch them and bring them back and stuff like that. But yeah, she's a cuddler. Arthur's a cuddler too, but it kind of has to be on, like, his time, like, when he wants to. But, like, she pretty much cuddles all the time.
Yeah. If you call her, she's there.
And now I call Sweety a daddy's girl because I think she is now more attached to Sean than to me. I feel like Arthur's more attached to me still, though.
Yeah, he's definitely more attached to you. And they still get along perfectly. They act like brother and sister. They are upstairs, where we are now is it's all hardwood, and since they have these claws, you know, they slide around a lot when they try and run and stuff. So if they're in the mood to play, they just sprint downstairs to the carpet and then they just play for.
One of them gets fed up with playing.
Yeah, they just play until they get too mad at each other or they get bored. So.
And then one of them will, like, usually sprint up here, and we know the time is done. The playtime's over.
It's usually Sweety. Arthur will bark and then she'll just sprint up here and run to us.
Let's see if he'll bark. Will you bark?
She won't bark.
Sweety.
Sweety.
Sweety. Speak.
Sweety.
Speak.
Sweety.
Sweet.
Sweety. Sweety.
Sweet.
Sweety.
And it's so funny because if you tell her to come and she's, like, already next to you, she'll just keep coming. Come here. Come here.
Come here. Come here.
And she really likes to lick. Look at her tail. Look at her butt. Look at it. She really likes to lick. Come here. Come here. Come here.
So we kind of just wanted to give you guys our own perspective on adopting dogs and adopting animals in general. It's nice to know that we helped some dogs that were in need of a home, and it's awesome to have two other parts of our family.
I know part of the reason I wanted to adopt was because there's, like, so many, like, dogs out there that people might not want them anymore, or something happens to them where they lose their homes, and I just really wanted to help them find forever homes. And they're hilarious. They always make us laugh. The faces that they make, the things that they do, like the way they play with each other, it's just hilarious.
So if you're debating on whether or not you should get a dog, you should definitely get one. It's definitely worth it. It's worth the effort.
I mean, you just have to, like, honestly take the time to think about, like, I mean, even though they were, like, 2 years old when we adopted them, it's still, like, potentially, you know, another 13 years of caring for them.
Yeah.
It's so nice knowing that they're going to be part of our families for a long time.
Gotta get that licking in. So yeah, we just wanted to kind of introduce you guys to Arthur and Sweety. I know you guys have seen them in probably the ending of our videos, and I think our first video we had them in a short clip in the beginning.
We just wanted to give you some insight about adopting. It can be challenging because you don't always know, like, the full story about where they came from and how well they were cared for.
Yeah, you just kind of have to feel out the relationship from the beginning and kind of take a chance on it. There's no real telling until you actually try it. So,
but totally worth it. Totally worth the challenges because I wouldn't trade them for the world.
Me neither. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. If you liked it, give it a like. If you want to see more videos, subscribe. You can check out our previous videos on our channel.
Follow us on Instagram because we post a lot of pictures of them around the house chilling.
Yeah.
So if you like them and you want to see more pictures of them, we always post pictures and videos about them on our Instagram.
Yeah, and links to our social media are in the description below. And we'll see you guys in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.